Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, not dawn yet, but I guess we're close to it. Could maybe call it overnight taste challenge, but this is the Glenglassaugh Evolution, introduced in 2012. No age statement, but it is ex-Tennessee whiskey barrels. It has natural color, as they say on their website. No coloring added, and it's non-chill filtered, okay? It's from the Glenglassaugh Distillery. It's not really too famous, like you don't hear about this company too much. Not around here, at least. But I found this at Savannah Discount for an extremely low price. Much lower than the regular price of about $50. This runs about 50 bucks. Here is the Glenlivet Founders Reserve. Okay, so this was introduced in 2015, and it's their non-age statement offering from the Glenlivet Distillery. American oak cask selection. They use an aged oak cask, old ex-bourbon cask and first fill casks that have never before aged whiskey. So it's supposed to make it be, better or whatnot. So let's check them out. So far, I've gotten 2 right and 1 wrong. When I went up against Glenmorangie, it wasn't hard at all. When I went up against Tomatin, I got them confused, but those were close in alcohol level, 43% versus 50. And then when I went against Journey, I got it right. Moisturize the cork. So it's real wood. The cap is real wood, and it's a real hunk of cork, okay? It's not pressed together cork particles. It's not neoprene. Like a lot of these, you'll say it's a cork, but it's really neoprene, which is the type of rubberized plastic they put on the bottom of tennis shoes. Neoprene, real spongy plastic, rubber-like substance, which may be fine. I don't know. I'm not an expert on neoprene versus cork. I know the cork will dry rot, and then you go to pull it, and it just disintegrates. You got to moisturize it if you want that. If you plan on keeping the bottle a long time, you don't want that to happen. And this is a plastic cap, but it's a real hunk of cork. Now the price, I think the Glenlivet was $30 for the Founders Reserve. I could be wrong, but I think that's what we're looking at. It's probably $35 today. It might have been $35 when I bought it. Maybe I'm underestimating the price. We know the Glenglassaugh is $50. Do a quick check on the price. So they're both golden. This is more gold, might have color added, and this is like pale. That's a natural color there. That's straw. No color added. Founders Reserve. Whoa, $47.99. Now I know. And for the handle, it's $93.99. So actually cheaper per ounce to get the handle, nearly $100. I know I didn't pay $47.99. I think it was like $35. I lost track, but it was not a bad price. But that's changed. I can clearly see that. See what Walmart's got it going for. Glenlivet. Whew. $49.48. Oh, whoa. Well, so scratch that. I was saying $50 and it was a lot more, but it's about $3 more expensive. The Glenglassaugh, $3 more. So you pay $3 more, you're getting a higher proof, 50% alcohol versus 40, and it's got no coloring at it, and it's not chill filtered. So I guess you could say it's a better quality product. But that's up to you. I rather the lower proof things myself, but you say you're a wuss. If that's what you want to say, go ahead. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm not, when I was 10 years old, that might have bothered me, but I drink what I want. If I want 40 proof rather than 50, that's my, 40% alcohol rather than 50%, that's my choice. I'm going to drink what I want. I'm not going to get peer pressured into drinking higher proof stuff. It's like beer. I rather 4.5 to 5% beers. Okay, natural ice at 5.9, that's a bit strong. And I do like to buy that as a regular drinking beer. I can get a 30-pack for $20.50, $20.99 maybe. But I've been just as satisfied lately drinking the Milwaukee's Best Light at 4.1. Very nice beer. I was watching the conference championships yesterday and was drinking some of that, and I thought, this beer is really good. Now, is it when you get older you want lower alcohol products? I don't really think it's that, because when I first started drinking beer in 1996, February 96, I was kind of like just as soon, satisfied with regular beer, Miller High Life, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Budweiser, Coors, Old Milwaukee. They're all in that 4.5 to 5% range. Of course, I like to try craft beers back then. And at that time, they were like 6, at the most 8%, which would seem outrageous. It seems so strong. But then you start getting used to it. And then the Steel Reserve 211 came out in 98 around here. And it was 8.1. And I thought it was a good flavor. It was too strong, But now we up to 15 to 18 to 20% alcohol craft beers like the 120 IPA. No. Too much. I can't I don't like it. High quality, I don't like it though. This has got mild creaminess, vanilla, white oak, like the white oak wood flavor. Bread, but would have to be barley bread because there's no wheat or corn, as they say in Europe, maize or rye added to this. Is single malt, barley malt whiskey. This has got to be the Glenlivet because it's too mild and mellow. Ain't no way it's the Glenglassaugh at 50% alcohol. So I'm going to say this is the Glenlivet, not the Glenglassaugh. Sorry, not the Glenglassaugh. I got it right. And I only tasted one. But it was too much of a giveaway. I said yesterday it wasn't going to be a challenge. Whoa. It tastes a lot of oak here. Ex-Tennessee whiskey barrels. And they say to use it fresh, like, meaning as soon as they take the Tennessee whiskey out the barrels, they shipping it to Scotland while it's still wet, like they said, and pouring it. Of course, I guess it depends how long it takes to get across the ocean blue. But theoretically, they're saying, it's wet when I guess they seal it up, and when it gets to Scotland, and then they pour the raw Scotch spirit on age in there and let it age for however many years. they want to, as long as it's 3. As long as they do it a minimum of 3, doesn't matter. It's your call. Same thing with Ireland and Dominion of Canada. You just age it 3 years or up, or keep it at the minimum. In the United States, it's not. It's lower. It's a lower threshold, which I guess is bad because you got stuff only aging 2 years, and you're saying straight bourbon. Well, it's allowed, but then on the other hand, you say, yeah, but to be fair. Now, your argument might be, yeah, but to be fair, in the United States, there's another caveat. The 2 year, yeah, that's a minimal thing, but it has to be aged in new charred oak barrels, and that's going to give it a lot of intense flavor, even in that short time span. Whereas in Canada, Ireland, and Scotland, they can age their stuff in used barrels, which might not impart much flavor to it. No kind of char flavor. So yeah, I could understand that argument. I could go along with that. And that's only the requirement for straight bourbon. You can age bourbon for a year and then say bourbon. Just call it bourbon. You can't call it straight bourbon. You say, boy, that's really cheap. Yes, but they may not sell it for a cheap price, like that Redemption High Rye. That thing was no cheap price. And I looked at the back of that bottle. It said this bourbon is aged at least 1 year. I said, oh golly, what do you know? Glenlivet doesn't really taste so much like sugar water like so many of these whiskeys. What no matter what country they're from, it tastes more like vanilla water. Vanilla, mild oak. It's so mild. Oh, so very mild. Now, if you're one of these people, like H. Ross Perot said, you people, let me tell you people something. I have a plan. No one ever could figure out what his plan was. Had no specifics, We're just going to work together like a team. We're going to team up. And everybody's going to do what I say. I said, oh, yeah? Well, you're going to be a dictator? Well, that guy was off the rails. But you people. So let me tell you people something. If you think Scotch whiskey is harsh and peaty and smoky and off-putting and you wouldn't want to try it and all of these things, you're wrong. Some of it is like that. Most of the ones I tried are nothing like that. They're just regular old whiskey, like just whatever you drinking. I don't drink whiskey. I don't drink liquor. People say, you're crazy. Man's gone mad. Wrong. If you could have heard the man just 2 days ago, if you could have heard him, man. No, what I mean is, like the championship games yesterday, I could have sat down and said, oh, let me drink some booze, let me have some drinks. Well, I had some drinks, meaning beer, but I didn't drink any liquor because I don't do that. I never do it, ever. I never sit down, get home from work and say, I'm going to have some drinks or liquor. I just don't. I'm sorry. That sounds gauche or terrible. The only time I ever consume liquor is if I'm doing a taste challenge or, a review. Like if I buy something and I sit down and do a solo review before I bring it into the challenges. And that's just I'm being honest with you. I'm not trying to act like something I'm not. Okay. So you can't say you're a whiskey drinker. I'm really not. I'm a whiskey taster. But then the counterpoint might be, yeah, but you tasting it constantly. And what are you doing after you're tasting it? You're drinking it, correct? That is true. But you see, it's the whole point of it. I'm not drinking it just to drink it for like pleasure or whatever. I'm just drinking it I'm tasting it and doing contests. And of course, I'm not going to waste it, so I'm going to drink it. Now, I could dump it out and say, oh, I'm like those wine tasters. They spew it out. They don't swallow. Well, that's their business. They can spew it out if they want. I'm not part of that. I didn't buy it to waste, so I'm drinking it. Don't ever judge me, man. Unless you want to. And then you'll be judged. Okay, but anyway, anyhow, Maxwell says, good morning, Ron. Peace to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. Thank you. Christ is Lord. It's an odd channel name. It's the truth, but it's a strange name for somebody's channel. Oh, thank you for liking the show, though. There's some bizarre names for YouTube channels, I must say, or YouTube accounts more than channels, really. But anyway, that's it. So the winner, there's really no winner. They're both well made, super high quality. I mean, to call a winner is no sense to it. There's a preference. I prefer the Glenlivet, just a personal thing, but I wouldn't say there's a winner. The winner is the fact that I got it right. I didn't get them confused. So, question: if you take two of these whiskeys, namely the Glenlivet Founders Reserve and Glenglassaugh Evolution, and you put them together in a blind taste test, then you will be able to tell them apart by aroma and flavor. The answer is yes, that is true, and the difficulty level in that exercise would be very low. So all Scotch does not taste the same, but then of course you probably knew that before ever hearing that statement. Angelo Zuccarelli says, good morning from Arizona. Good morning to you in the land of cacti and many deserts. I can get to the desert, but it'd take me all day to drive almost if I leave here now. Well, let's say I left at 5 a.m. Central and I drove west. I'd be in the desert regions of Texas. It'd be long before dark. But I'd be so tired of driving by the time I got there, I would just want to walk around and go relax at the motel or hotel because I'd be so sick of driving, But you could do it. I could drive to Mexico in the same situation. Leave at 5 in the morning, including stops for lunch and restroom and whatnot. Still be there around 3 in the afternoon. So we're not too far from that part of the world. We are right on the Mississippi River, but I'm east of the river, so I'm still in the east. Just don't go to Phoenix in the middle of summer. It gets to 115 degrees. I know, I did it once in July. To go see the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was the only week that the schedule worked out, so I had no choice. It was the only week in the whole season where the teams lined up. See, and I could drop. It was 112 when I got there. It was too much, like an oven. But I could go see the Diamondbacks. Then the next day, the Angels. Not the Angels. The what you call them? The Padres, and then the Dodgers, then the Angels. Then I had to go to 3 games in San Francisco because of the schedule way it worked out. Then I went to 2 games in Oakland, Friday and Saturday afternoon, and then went to Denver to the Rockies, and then back, passed through Arlington, went to see the Rangers, and then back home. So but it lined up. It's very hard to find a schedule that does it. All right, thanks everybody, and y'all take care now. And so that's it. Next time, it's going to be Glenglassaugh versus the Glenlivet 12 year, the real famous one. The Glenlivet 12 year is the real popular one that you see everywhere.